Hey everybody, let's look at some Stoic wisdom for the 12th of December. I never tire of the smell of a good book. Right, let's see what wisdom we have for today. From Marcus Aurelius, Meditations. Walk the long gallery of the past, of empires and kingdoms succeeding each other without number. And you can also see the future, for surely it will be exactly the same, unable to deviate from the present rhythm. It's all one whether we've experienced 40 years or an eon. What more is there to see? The present rhythm. That's a nice little phrase. We are all experiencing the present rhythm. And all things come to an end. Entropy wins in the end. And all we can do is be the best that we can be today. Which for me means not picking up a drink, not taking any drugs, being kind to my fellow man, being of service if I can, and helping myself to understand that living in a fixed mindset isn't going to help me move forward. That's what came up in this morning's pages. Fixed mindset versus growth mindset. This is a concept I've been aware of since I first discovered August Bradley's content back in 2020. And he discussed a book by Carol Dweck called Mindset. It was part of his first cohort of his Pillars, Pipelines and Vaults system in Notion, which he calls his Notion operating system, his life operating system. And it's a system I've been using since then, since 2020. And it helps me to stay on track. And one of the parts of the system is looking at the values that one has, of what August refers to as guiding principles, but they have all different kinds of names. Tom Beaulieu from the podcast I listen to, Impact Theory, he calls it his North Star. I've seen it called all sorts of different things, but the idea is that you do some self-reflection and figure out what the values are in life that you aspire to, and then you build your life in a way so that everything points towards those values. And limiting beliefs, these are things that hold me back. And so listening to the podcasts that I do, reading the books that I do, following August Bradley and using his system, these are all tools that I use to direct me towards becoming the man I aspire to be. And reading this book really helps with that. And in the podcast I was listening to this morning, when I was out walking Clover, Modern Wisdom with Chris Williamson, he was interviewing a guy called Bedros Keuilian, and they discussed Stoicism, and they discussed limiting beliefs and mindset, and it's all powerful stuff. And this is why I make content, because it helps me to rise above that fixed mindset and move towards a growth mindset. And it's an incredible thing. And that's why I keep showing up. So I'm glad that you keep showing up to watch. But you know what? If you didn't, I would just keep doing it, because it helps me immeasurably. So that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. And Harry, thank you so much for sending me those 3 coffees this morning. Way to make my day. I appreciate you. Thank you.